Okay, today, this is the Reverend Zachariah A. Jackson from the Church of What's Happening Now. We're interviewing Oliver Lynch. She's running for City Council. And it's wonderful to be here on a good spring day finally.
Absolutely.
That we're interviewing Oliver Lynch. Oliver, I guess what the community want to know. Who is Oliver Lynch?
Who am I?
Who are you?
Who am I? Who is this person running for council?
Right.
I've lived here in the city for 7 years. My background is I actually come from a religious background. My grandfather was a Methodist preacher, and my mother was a high school teacher, and my father was a construction worker, a contractor. And I went to school, I grew up in Maryland, near Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
And I lived in the towns of Aberdeen and Havre de Grace. And I was, from the beginning, very interested in the arts.
When you say Aberdeen, Aberdeen, New Jersey, or
Aberdeen,
in Maryland?
Aberdeen, Maryland.
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Aberdeen, Maryland,
right.
And Havre de Grace. And I went to college at Johns Hopkins University, and I studied opera. Actually, I was an opera singer.
Okay.
And then I got my master's in opera. I went to
Wow.
Curtis Institute.
Okay.
So I did that for about 10 years of my life. I was an artist, a starving artist. You know, I was a secretary, word processor, did all sorts of things. And when I decided to give that up,
bring it down over there, please?
when I decided to give that up, I went back to school for computer engineering. And so now what I do is I design computer systems for banks specializing in compliance. So I basically design systems that monitor banks, all their activity, looking for money laundering, looking for fraud, you know, your trade fraud, that kind of thing.
Wonderful.
So that's what I do now. And I still sing. I do things with, I started an opera company, and I sing with local orchestras and all that.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
I'm pretty active in the neighborhood, in the town, so that's who I am.
All right. Well, Oliver, I'm going to ask you to bring your voice up a little louder because we know we have an audience on the other side, so bring it up a little bit.
Okay.
Oliver, what is your motivation seeking the council?
My motivation is I believe that I have skills and abilities that can really help the town. I think that I'm a very focused, determined individual, and I'm the kind of person who can make things happen. And living here in town, you know, Plainfield has issues that we need to have addressed. And I looked around and felt, you know, I think I have what it takes to help the city. I have the desire, and so I felt, well, I'll just go ahead and put out there and offer what I can do to the citizens.
Oliver, what sets you apart from the other opponents?
From the other opponents?
From your other opponents?
I think also I've had a lot of experiences. I think also I know how to, I have a business background, so I understand finance very well. So I'm very good at looking at financials and understanding where money's going. I understand the bottom line, and also accounting one way is business. You have your taxes are your income, and the money you spend is what goes out, and your citizens. So really, I think the fact that I have a good business ability, that's something that I think would set me apart.
I'll ask you right here. What can you say to those individuals to convince them that you're not now, that you're prepared to do the job?
All right. I think when I decided to, the biggest issue that faces this town right now is Muhlenberg Hospital closing. And I made the decision and commitment to serve this town, and so since I saw that Muhlenberg Hospital was the biggest issue facing us, I dived in 100%, and I believe that in the short period of time that I've been working on this, that I've really helped bring things along, and I believe that the actions I've taken in working with people, that we're to a position that we have a great opportunity to keep the hospital from closing, or at least if it closes, to reopen it and keep it in the community. So I think by taking those actions, I'm showing the citizens that I'm a very capable, determined person, and when I decide to make something happen, I will stop at nothing and make sure it gets happen with the best of my ability, which is all any of us can offer.
How can residents in Plainfield get involved in your campaign at this state of the game?
I have, up on the Buy Muhlenberg site, I have my home phone number, my cell phone number. I have my email up, so if anybody wants to help out, all they have to do is call or email me, and they can help out either putting signs or calling other people or just talking about the issues and the things that need to be solved here in the city. So I'm completely open book. I sent out letters to the people within my ward and gave them my phone numbers and just said, call me. Let me know, what's going on with you, and if they want to help out, that'd be great, and just give me a call.
Olive, when people go to the polls on Tuesday, June 3rd, to cast their votes, where will they find your name?
I don't know. I don't know where I am in the line. I'm not in the line, so I don't know if I'm on the
Are you running as an independent?
I'm an independent Democrat.
Okay.
So I'll be in the Democratic Party, but I'm not sure my position yet. Because I know they usually have the line and then the second and then the third person, because I know would be the other candidates, so I'm not sure.
Let me ask you this right here, Olive.
Okay.
How can we improve the quality of life in our neighborhood for our residents?
Okay, I think that there's several quality of life issues that together we can solve. Number one is we do have a trash issue where people feel that it's okay to throw trash in Plainfield. And I think that if, as citizens together, if we witness people throwing trash, if we see people throwing trash, that we say something. First of all, confront people and say, why are you throwing trash in my town? Because I see people doing it all the time. I think the other thing is then if we work together to clean trash up. I mean, citizens going out, okay, we're going to clean up our block, we're going to keep our block clean, because if once something's clean, then you notice when something's thrown. So I think by that act of keeping the city clean sets a standard that this is not a place that you trash up the place, that you do wrong things, that because the other is if you allow trash to be laying around, you're saying we don't care.
That's the truth.
And I think that people do care. So that's one thing that we together can do. I think the other thing is the speeding that's going on. Some of the major drags in town, people just fly. There are people doing drag racing. So I think, again, the citizens can call the police. If you get 2 or 3 calls of, hey, there's guys running motorcycles up and down our street, or you see the same car that's speeding, whatever, that's something we together can do. And I think as a council person, what you can do is tell people this is the best or most effective way to help stop these things. The other thing is crime. I mean, that's a big issue. I think definitely there's a component of working with law enforcement and having neighborhood watches. I think I'm very much in favor of the idea of our police walking beats and having a police officer who's assigned to a neighborhood, so he gets to know the people that are in that neighborhood.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think if we build that relationship, then the areas where there's perhaps more crime going on, the officer can get to know the people in that, and he'll know who's going to be doing things, and then work with the community.
Yes.
Nobody wants crime. I mean, the people who are committing these crimes, I think, are a tiny percentage of our population.
That's right, yes.
And so I think together we can, with the police officers being out there and seeing people and looking in their eyes and knowing who's doing what, would make a difference in this town.
I want to change the questions for a minute, and I know that you've been working with this situation.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the Muhlenberg situation at this point?
Okay. About like where we are? Or
where we are, what are your thoughts? How do you, can you tell the listening audience how we all can come together and save Muhlenberg?
Okay.
Is there a solution to what's going on?
I look at it that it needs to be approached on several different levels. What the citizens are doing now by doing the marches and the rallies and writing the letters to the governor and the commissioner, that has to happen, because that's giving voice to your concern. I believe that every citizen should be calling their elected officials, whether it's their council person, their mayor, their assemblyman, to say, hey, I don't want this hospital to close. As far as solutions, what I've personally been working with a group of people, what we've orchestrated up to date is that we have gotten the Attorney General engaged on Solaris's activities regarding Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg is an affiliate, and by looking at the records and the information that we've been able to get a hold of, it's very clear to us that Solaris has been acting with what we believe is malfeasance towards their affiliate, which means, in essence, they've taken a nonprofit that was viable and now made it non-viable, and they've orchestrated this situation that we're in.